everyone. I hope you all are doing great. Welcome back to our channel Agla Same Schools. Today in this video I will be covering chapter 2 of class 8 of history, that is from trade to territory. So let's discuss question and answers. Here question number 1 says match the following. First, Diwani. Answer is right to collect land revenue. Second, Tiger of Mysore. Answer is Tipu Sultan. Third, Faujdari Adalat. Answer is criminal court. Fourth, Ram Channama. Answer is led an anti-British movement in Kittur. Fifth, Sipahi. Answer is Sepoy. Now question number 2 says filling the blanks. First, the British conquest of Bengal began with the Battle of Dash. Answer is Plassey. Second, Hyder All and Tipu Sultan were the ruler of Dash. Answer is Mysore. Third, Dalhousie implemented the doctrine of Dash. Answer is Lapse. Fourth, Maratha kingdoms were located mainly in the part of Dash India. Answer is Western India. Further, question number 3 says state whether the statement is true or false. First, Mughal emperor became stronger in the 18th century. Answer is false. Second, the English East India Company was the only European company that traded with India. Answer is false. Third, Maharaja Ranjit Singh was the ruler of Punjab. Answer is true. Fourth, the British did not introduce administrative changes in the territories they conquered. Answer is false. Now question number 4 says what attracted European trading companies to India? Answer is first, the fine qualities of cotton and silk produced in India. Second, Indian spices such as pepper, cloves, cardamom and cinnamon. Further, moving to question number 5 which says what were the areas of conflict between the Bengal Nawabs and the East India Company? So answer is first, the Bengal Nawabs asserted their power and autonomy and refused to grant the company concessions. Second, they demanded large tributes for the company's right to trade. Third, they denied the company any right to mint coins. Fourth, they stopped the company from extending its fortifications. Now, question number 6 says, how did the assumptions of Diwani benefit the East India Company? So the answer is, the Mughal emperor in 1765 appointed the company's Diwani of the province of Bengal. The Diwani allowed the company to exploit the vast revenue resources of Bengal. This solved a major problem that the company had earlier faced. Although its trade had expanded, it had to buy most of the goods in India with gold and silver imported from Britain. The overflow of gold from Britain stopped after the assumption of Diwani. Now, revenue from India could finance company expenses. These revenues were used to purchase cotton and silk textile in India, maintain company troops and meet the cost of building the company fort and offices at Calcutta. Further, question number 7 says, explain the system of subsidiary alliance. So the answer is, under the system of subsidiary alliance, Indian rulers were not allowed to have their independent armed force. They were to be protected by the company but had to pay for the subsidiary forces that the company was supposed to maintain for the purpose of this protection. If the Indian ruler failed to make the payment, the part of the territory was taken away as penalty. The states which had to lose their territories on this ground were Avda and Hyderabad. Further, question number 8 says, in what way was the administration of the company different from that of Indian rulers? So the answer is, first, the company divided its administrative units called presidents. There were 3 presidents, Bengal, Madras and Bombay. In India, districts were the main administrative units. Second, each presidency was ruled by the government. Districts were ruled by the collectors. Third, the supreme head of the administration of the company was the Governor General. But in India, the head of the administration was the king. Fourth, the main job of the Governor General was to introduce administrative reforms while the main job of the collector was to collect revenue and taxes and maintain law and order in his district. Further, moving to question number 9, which says, describe the changes that occur in the composition of company's army. So answer is, first, the company began recruitment for its own army, which came to be known as the Sepoy Army. Second, as warfare technology changed from the 1820s, the cavalry recruitments of the company's army declined. Third, the soldiers of the company's army had to keep pace with changing military requirements, and its infantry regiments now become more important. Fourth, in the early 19th century, the British began to develop a uniform military culture. Soldiers were increasingly subjected to European-style training, drill and discipline that regulated their life for more than before. Further, moving to our question number 10, which says, after the British conquest of Bengal, Calcutta grew from a small village to a big city. Find out about the culture, architecture and the life of Europeans and Indians of the city during the colonial period. So the answer is culture, British influence began. Second, architecture, influenced by the British architecture. Third, life, that is English education, English clothes become popular. So guys, I have covered all the questions of this chapter in this video. I hope you like this video. And if you have any query or any doubt related to any of the questions discussed, please put your query in the comment section below. For more such NCERT solutions, keep watching and do not forget to subscribe our channel Agla Sem Schools. And do not forget to wear a mask and take good care of your health.